All right, so I'm building the fuel lines here for the red rocket. I've already built one. This is a PTFE line, and I just wanted to show you how to put this stuff together. It's pretty easy, you know, with some basic hand tools. So again, this is a PTFE line, and this is my return line, which goes from the fuel pump to the pressure regulator. And I just want to show you how easy it is to make these lines, so that way you don't have to hire somebody to actually do it. So here's I have a 20-foot line, which should be enough for the whole car. And these lines, whenever you cut them, you want to go ahead and tape them, so that way it doesn't flare out too much. You do need this thing to flare out, but before that you have to slide part of the fitting on it. So here is a PTFE fitting, and it consists of 3 parts. So you have this end here, and then this one that goes in the middle, which goes on the actual plastic line. I'm going to show you how to put that in right now. And then this last piece here. So you have the female end, and then the male end, and then this just goes in the middle. So what you want to do first is before you cut it, make sure you tape it. That way you can slide this on a lot easier. If not, you're gonna have trouble getting it on. So this end goes on the inside of the line, and the thread goes out. So you just want to press it in. You kind of have to wrestle with it a little bit, but not too much, as you can see. And what made that a lot easier to put in is the tape itself. You just kind of squeeze it in, get it all the way through. Like that. And now you want to go ahead and cut off that tape. You don't need it no more. Just be careful not to cut into the line, the plastic line. So this little flare out here is something you actually need. Now that the fitting is in, that little flare, if it's not flared out completely like that already, you just gotta take a screwdriver, flat screwdriver, and just kind of flare it out. And this is where you use the aluminum fitting that goes on the inside. It has let me see if I can catch this there. There's a lip on the inside right there. You can see it better on this side. So this goes right over the plastic line, and you can use a little bit of water just to get it in, or whatever, any kind of lubricant. And you just gotta press this thing in until it's all the way flush up against the plastic line. What I typically do is just press it up against here, just to ensure it's all the way seated. And you can feel it and you can hear it when it's all the way seated, and you can see it. As you can see, it's all the way pressed against the aluminum fitting here. So after you do that, you just double check, make sure it's seated all the way in, which it is. And now from here, all you got to do is insert the male fitting right in there. So that takes a little bit of effort. There it is. So once that's seated all the way through, you want to go ahead and just go ahead and put the female end on. These things are really easy to cross thread because they're made out of aluminum, and the little fray end here at the bottom kind of gets in the way, and it does kind of want to go in crooked sometimes. So just make sure you put it in straight before you actually start cranking on it. This one seems to be going pretty easy. So you will need some sort of pressure, and then you get it in as far as you can by hand. Always start these things by hand. Don't start cranking on them with a wrench, because like I said, they're easy to cross thread. So once you get to that point, what you want to do is put this end in the vise. And as you can see here, I taped up the vise with masking tape, and it has a piece of cardboard in between it just so it won't mess up the fitting or scratch it. Like I said, they're aluminum, so they're kind of delicate. So we're gonna put this end. Actually, let me turn this over. Let me get out of the shot there. Put that fitting there in the vise. And then you just want to tighten this one all the way down. You can use a wrench or a socket. I was using a socket, which I believe this is a 3/4 inch socket. So just as long as this thing is sit all the way down, you're good. So I opted for the PTFE line because it's made for the newer type fuels these days. It has ethanol and other crap that's in the gas now. So the new gas tends to deteriorate a typical rubber gas line. So that's why I went with the PTFE and the PTFE lines. My engine is a flex fuel, but I'm gonna try to keep as much clean fuel in it as I can. But I mean, nowadays they have bad fuel everywhere. So, and another thing with them rubber ones, once they start to deteriorate, you start getting fumes. They start smelling pretty bad, so you don't want that, and you obviously don't want to leak. So you just crank down on this until it's all the way down, and that's it. So they're pretty simple. It's similar to using a compression fitting like on a brake line. If you've done that before, you can do this. So I just wanted you guys to see how easy this is. Here's my return line. So now I'm gonna make the pressure line, which goes from the fuel pump to the regulator. And then after this, I'm gonna do the one from the regulator all the way to the motor. And that should be it. So I'll get under the car and show you how it looks down there. So just real quick, when cutting these guys, you want to have a nice clean cut. You don't want to go at any kind of angle or anything. You just want to cut it nice and straight all the way through. What I use is just an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. It's pretty easy that way. It's actually the best way to do it. So go ahead and cut this, and again, you just want to cut straight down. You don't want to cut at any kind of angle. That way, whenever you put your fitting, it sits flush up against the line. So it's that simple. Nice clean cut. Okay, so I pulled the tank back out to show y'all how it looks over here on the outside. So on the tank itself, you have your pump with the return and the send, and then over here you have the sender, which actually shows the read on the gauge, full or empty or whatever. So you got your sender and then your pump. So here you have a return, and it's labeled right under this fitting. It has an R under there, and this one also has a label on the bottom, has an S for return. So these are the two lines that I just made, which go to the fuel pressure regulator, and the regulator also dubs as a filter. So it's a filter and a regulator, and it regulates to 58 pounds. So if you turn it here, the return side is going to be offset. It's going to be off to the side here, and then you have your pressure and then your outlet. Those are pretty much straight. So the ones in the middle is the pressure, and then the outlet. So this one goes to the fuel line that goes to the engine. So that's how that works. And then whenever you install this, it has to be grounded. So you see it has this 2 grounds right here. So wherever you put this, make sure you clean it real good before you mount it. That way it has a good ground. So on the pump, you have just 2 wires. You have the positive and the negative. As far as the wiring goes, my standalone harness has 1 wire that has a fuel relay. It connects straight to here. So whenever I hit the key, it'll prime the regulator, and then whenever you turn it over, it'll start the car. And then you have a negative back over here. So you got to make sure to have a really good ground. And then for the sender as well, the sender, it needs 1 wire. Like for example, mine on the digital decoder, there's 1 wire for the fuel sender that comes off of the control box that I'm gonna have to put here. And then over here you just have your ground. So you can put these together, these grounds, and then just ground them on the bottom, somewhere on the bottom. And again, whenever you ground it, make sure you clean wherever you ground it all the way down to the metal. That way you have a good ground, or else your gauge is not gonna work, or you're gonna have some issues with your pump. All this electrical stuff needs ground. So this is a vented pump. This right here is a vent, and here is the check valve for the vent. So I'm just gonna run a tube, 3/8 line from here to here, a rubber tube, and then just hang this somewhere in there, or maybe leave it up top. I'm not sure where to put this yet, but I already know where this stuff goes. So I'm gonna run some wiring in the car to the back for the tank, and then once I get this back in there, all mounted and everything, I'll get down there and show you what it looks like. All right, so I'm under the car here, and I got the tank installed, and the wiring is coming up the trunk. So everything on the bottom is pretty much done. Just kind of bear with me because I'm down here on a creeper. But that's where the regulator's at, and that's the fuel line that goes to the front. Let me get a better angle here. So that's the top of the gas tank, and I have the lines going over my shock mount. They clear the shock mount pretty good, and then I have the if I can get the thing to focus a little bit. I have the regulator right there. That might be right over there. And then the fuel line goes over the arch here, behind right here, and then it comes out over here to the back, in between the chassis and the frame. And then I have the brake line and the fuel line. It runs through the tunnel. And it goes through the top of the tunnel here where the drive shaft's at. And it goes on top of the carrier bearing. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it's on top of the carrier bearing. And then it goes through the front, which I'm not done routing the front. But that's it for the back. So I actually ran my brake line through the tunnel over the carrier bearing, just so it wouldn't be on top of the frame. I didn't like how it looked on top. But that's it for the fuel line in the back. And again, I'm not sure how well y'all can see all this. That black is that black tank strap. I'm gonna replace it. The tank strap, and the stuff around is just masking tapes. I didn't want to get it all scratched up, so I'm gonna replace those straps with polished stainless straps, and then I'll take off that masking tape when I do that. Excuse all the moving around here, but I'm under the car in a creeper. So here's the fuel line where it comes up through the front, and I'm gonna put it right here. Just need to undo these. I had done these a while back. Let's see if I can get in over here. Yeah. So there's the other one right there. So from here, it's gonna go up to the top of the engine, and I'll show y'all once I get it routed up there. show you the back of the tank. You can kind of see the regulator right there. There it is, guys. So let me show you where I ground. That's the ground for the sender and the fuel pump. So I had to take off the Raptor right there. I cleaned it up real good. It's bare metal, so I can get a good ground. And I have the wires coming up here to the shelf. This is the wire for the fuel sender and the wire for the pump itself. So I'm gonna attach these somewhere so I can hold it up. This one won't be loose like that. Just look a little cleaner. And then they go to the top of the tank right there. So let me finish up the front, the top of the engine, I'll bring y'all back. All right, so here's the fuel line in the front. It's coming out of the tunnel. And then it goes up here. From the frame, it goes up all the way up to the back of the transmission and the back of the engine. This is it right here. Wrapped it in black, and I'll show y'all why right now. So from here up, it's black. So let's go to the top of the engine. See what it looks like up there. So this is the actual fuel line right here. And that's the reason I wrapped it in black, because everything back there is wrapped in black cloth tape for the engine harness. And it was sticking out really bad. It looked out of place, but now it just looks like everything else. It just blends in. And it comes up to here. Let me take off this cover. And just straight onto here. So I have another PTFE fitting here. And then this one is just an insert fitting that goes onto the factory fuel rail. So there that is. You can see my last coil up here. I had to move it out of the way because it was hitting the booster down there at the bottom. You can see that down there. So that's it for the fuel line. Let's see. I'm just gonna put on the rubber for the fuel neck and make sure everything's tight, which I already did, but I'm gonna double check everything, and then I can put fuel and go ahead and start her up. So I'll bring y'all back.